Hello and welcome. Today we are diving deep into one of the biggest questions we all face. What happens after we're gone? We're going to explore how some of the world's great religions have built incredible traditions, like bridges, to connect the life we know with whatever comes next.
I mean, really think about that for a second. When it all stops, what's next? Is that the end or a whole new chapter? This single question is the spark that has lit some of humanity's most sacred and enduring traditions.
I just love this way of putting it. These rituals aren't just about saying goodbye. They're seen as active tools, like lanterns. They're meant to literally light up the path for soul heading into the great unknown.
So, to get our heads around these different traditions, it helps to see that most of them follow one of two major paths. Two fundamental ideas about where the soul goes after death. Okay, so here's the fork in the road. On one side, you have this idea of a cycle, a continuous journey where the soul comes back again and again. On the other side, it's more of a one-way street, a single journey that leads to a final, permanent judgment. Let's start with that first path. All right, let's dive into this amazing concept of reincarnation. This is the core belief that the soul doesn't just pass on, it passes through, moving from one life right into the next. In Hinduism, this great cycle is called samsara. The soul, which is called the Atman, is on this epic journey through countless lives. And what shapes that journey? Karma, basically the sum of all your actions. So the whole point of Hindu death rituals is to help that soul along, aiming for a better next life, or, the ultimate goal, to break free from the cycle completely, which is a state called moksha.
The main ceremony here is the antieshti, and every single step is packed with meaning. The cremation, in particular, is seen as this incredibly powerful moment of release. It's like it's cutting the soul's final ties to its earthly form so it can move on. And those later rituals, the shraddha, are all about making sure the soul has what it needs for that journey ahead.
This quote from Arjun in Delhi just brings it all to life, doesn't it? He talks about this feeling of actively helping his mother's soul. But he also hits on this beautiful, deeper question. Is the ritual for the person who died, or is it for the family, a way to heal through tradition? And you have to think, maybe the real power is that it's both.
Buddhism also embraces this idea of rebirth, but they have this really fascinating focus on what's called the bardo. Think of it like a transitional space, almost a spiritual waiting room between death and the next life. And what's so incredible here is the belief that the actions of the living, things like chanting or making offerings, can directly help the soul in the bardo and influence what kind of rebirth it'll have.
Okay, so let's switch gears and look at that other path. This is a totally different way of seeing things. Forget the cycle. Here, life is a one-time shot, and it all leads to one final, permanent destination.
So, in the Christian worldview, there's no coming back for another go. Death is seen as a doorway to resurrection and a final judgment. All the rituals, like funeral masses and prayers, are really about one thing: entrusting the soul to God and holding on to the hope of eternal life in heaven.
And Elena's words from Brazil just capture this feeling so perfectly. She said the funeral felt like they were actively sending her brother toward God's light. And there it is again, that same question we saw before. Is the ritual helping the departed soul, or is it bringing comfort and a sense of closure to the family?
Islam also teaches that there will be a final day of judgment. But before that happens, the soul waits in an intermediary state called the barzakh. The rituals in Islam are designed to prepare the soul for this period of waiting. That's why there's such an emphasis on burying the body quickly and on the whole community coming together to pray for mercy for the person who has passed.
Fatima's story from Dubai really highlights just how powerful that community part is. She felt that the collective prayers of everyone around her brought a real sense of peace for her grandmother's soul. It makes you wonder, is that peace a gift from the divine, or is it a gift that comes from the human connection of shared faith?
So, we have these two huge, distinct paths, one of rebirth, one of judgment. But here's the thing. These aren't just dusty old traditions. They are alive and they are evolving right alongside us in the modern world.
Now, this chart really lays it all out so clearly. Look at the top two rows, Hinduism and Buddhism. They're both centered on that cycle of rebirth, samsara. Their rituals are designed to influence what happens next. But then look at the bottom two, Christianity and Islam. See? No reincarnation. The whole game is different. The focus is on preparing the soul for that one-way journey to a final judgment. It's a completely fundamental difference.
And this is what's truly amazing. Look how these ancient traditions are adapting. I mean, you've got families gathering for Hindu Shraddha ceremonies over Zoom. Funerals are being live-streamed so people can attend from all over the world. There's a huge movement toward green burials and eco-friendly cremations. You can even use a mindfulness app to help with chanting. It just goes to show you, technology isn't killing tradition. In many ways, it's helping it thrive.
So after exploring all these different beliefs and these sacred paths, it all really boils down to one final essential question. And it's a question that's not just about the dead, it's really about us, the ones left behind.
So, what is it all for? Are these beautiful, complex ceremonies truly guiding the departed soul to its final destiny? Or are they here to light a candle of hope for us, to give us a map for our own grief as we stare into life's greatest mystery? And you know what? The answer is probably both. They are a bridge for the departed and a light for those of us still here. Thanks for watching.